In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful, all the praises and thanks be to Allah. This is Abdulaziz Muhammad Hussein speaking, and today I'm going to present to you my research in IE 200 Communication Technical Skills course. And my research is about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on how King Abdulaziz University engineering students spend their leisure time. This is the table of contents of this presentation. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the introduction, which consists of the general overview about the problem, then the actual problem, and the research objective. Moving to the methodology, and then the findings and discussion, and then I will end with the research conclusion. Research introduction. There are three different studies that considered as results of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which are first of all the increase of video game users, then challenges to health and mental wellness, and then rating the indoor activities as high risk activities. The research problem, the actual problem is that people nowadays have more free time than the usual, and that might cause lack of investing time, or depression, or failure in school or university, and that also led to a decrease in the amount of time spent in the physical activity. The research objective and the research questions. My research objective is to find the answers for the research questions, and my research questions are: what are the impacts of the pandemic on the students' leisure time activities, and how aware are the students of the change in the amount of free time, and how to prevent the students from spending their leisure time negatively. Moving to the research methodology, I have chosen the survey method as the data collection method for many reasons, such as it costs nothing to do it, and it has precise results, and it is easy to deal with, and it analyzes data automatically. The questionnaire, I have made my questionnaire in SoGo survey, and I have listed 4 close-ended questions and 7 rating scale questions and 1 multiple choice question. And my participants are the King Abdulaziz University engineering students, because they are strongly related to me, and I am one of them. I have gathered 61 responses from 61 participants. Now moving to the findings and discussion. The first research question, which is about the impact of the pandemic on the students' free time activity. And as you can see, leisure time activities are less exciting since everyone is applying social distancing. More than half of people agree with this statement, and just 20% disagree. And for the other graph, there are a lot of people still reluctant to work out in the gym because of the pandemic. Over half as well agree with this statement, because free time activities nowadays after the pandemic, you have to apply social distancing, and that can't happen in certain sports such as football, because you have to press on the opponent, you have to make physical contact, and that might get you infected. For the second research questions, which is how aware are the students of the change in the free time, we have now 2 vertical bar graphs, as you can see. The first one is asking the respondents if they are satisfied with their activities recently, and as you can see, they are split in halves. Some of them are satisfied and the others are not satisfied, and only 28% are neutral. And for the other graph, there's an increase in our free time and we don't use it in studying. This statement, as you can see, 41% agrees with it and 31% disagree with it. Engineering students are facing more obstacles in studying, and that might cause lack of free time. And other students, they found they find that there is an increase in the free time. As for the third research questions, which is how to prevent the students from spending their time negatively, I've suggested that parents' intervention is necessary, and the majority of respondents agreed with me. And another solution that I've suggested is fixing someone's sleeping schedule, and also the majority of the students agreed with me, as you can see. 51% said yes, and 34% said to some extent. The research conclusion, I will talk about the limitations and suggestions for further studies. The limitations, there are some points that have not been covered yet in my research because my research is not perfect. For example, distinguishing the types of activities and discovering the impact on a wider level, and arranging meetings with the targeted samples. And my suggestions for further studies is to take this investigation into more levels of complexity. By asking the students what have they done to improve themselves during the pandemic, and how will they lessen their free time in beneficial actions. And my final word is to spend your time wisely and choose your company carefully, and try to have fun in your leisure time with regulations, and as well as investing your time in beneficial actions. And by that, I have reached to the end of my presentation. Abdulaziz Mohammed Hussein was speaking. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions, just feel free to ask.